In this video, we were going to talk about how to successfully process an ACH payment. First, we need to set up ACHs. To do that, we're going to go to Company, Setup, and then we find the ACH Bank Debit button. Choose from one of our vendors. Once you've chosen a particular partner, you will be given a set of codes to enter into this screen. Once that's set up, you are now able to process ACH payments. The next step would be to set up a specific customer for ACH billing. To do that, we can do it from the move-in. After we've chosen a unit and chosen a tenant, there's a button here that says Auto Bill. We can edit it there, or we can do it from the payment screen. Choose my tenant, click on the Ledger Settings button, and then click on Auto Bill here. It's also in the tenant screen. There's an Auto Bill option in there. Operations Tenants, Ledger Settings, Auto Bill. All three screens act the same way and get you the same point. We click on the Edit button for Auto Bill. We would choose that they're ACH, and then we put in the account number and routing number, which you would see on a check. So typically, a customer will give you a voided check, and then you choose the account type, consumer checking typically, but we do have business checking and consumer saving. Highlight ACH here, and then Auto Bill on days past due. Typically you have that at 0, meaning that it's on the day that their rent is due. So if they're on the 1st of the month, this is going to charge them on the 1st. If we put this to be 2, this means when they're 2 days past due, charge them on the 3rd. Again, you usually have this as 0. If you're going to bump this up a couple of days, make sure this number is always less than when they're charged their first late fee. Then we click OK to save it. Those that are set up to be auto-billed will be found in a report called Ach Billing Roll. If we click on that, that'll show us every single tenant that's set up to be auto-billed. In this particular demo, we have 2 people. When they're due, they'll show on the reminder screen as ACH to submit. I double click on it and it takes me to the ACH screen. That's the same thing as going to operations and an ACH bank debit here, same screen. I click on that person or people. I can also select all. Then I'm going to process the transactions and then commit the transactions. We need to do both of these steps one after another in order to be paid. Process the transactions, then commit all of the transactions. Once we've done that, their names come off the list and we will receive payment. ACH differs from credit cards in that you don't know if the payment was successful the moment that you process it. With credit cards, it'll tell you captured or not captured immediately. With ACH, it's like a check. When someone hands you a check, you're taking that payment, but you don't know that it potentially is bad. The same thing with ACH. So we have an option here called check for returns that you should run periodically, at least every several days if you're running ACHs. This is not an automatic process. You have to do it yourself by clicking check for returns. It will also tell you on the reminder screen ACH get returns 1. This number 1 doesn't mean that you have 1 return to process. It's saying 1 and it says ACH get returns to let you know that you should always be doing this process. In order for there to be a reminder in this current system, you have to have at least 1 person that's of that status. That's why it always says 1. But you might not have any returns. You might have 5. It just depends. So know to run that periodically, and what we do is we click check for returns here, and then it will see if any came back as bad, and it processes it like a bad check. Puts those charges back on their account. We also have 2 reports, transactions returned and transactions submitted. This transaction return report is showing those that came back as returned by using the check for returns function. The transactions submitted are showing you the ACH that have been processed. We click close to exit the screen.